Hey everyone, and welcome back to Mr. Daily Speak English. We're really happy to have you here with us today. I'm David, and I'm excited to spend this time learning English together with you.
Hi, David, and hello to all our wonderful listeners. I'm Emily, and just like always, I'm very happy and excited to be here with you today.
Today, we're going to talk about a very powerful and useful technique that can really help you improve your English speaking skills.
Yes, today's technique can make a big difference, especially if you want to speak more naturally and confidently.
This technique is called shadowing.
Shadowing. That sounds interesting, David. Can you explain to our listeners what shadowing actually is?
Of course. Shadowing means listening to English audio and repeating it out loud at the same time as the speaker.
So you don't wait until the speaker finishes. You try to speak together with the audio, right?
Exactly. You listen carefully and repeat what you hear as closely as possible, with the same speed, rhythm, and pronunciation.
It's like your voice is following the audio, just like a shadow follows a person.
That's a perfect way to describe it. Your voice becomes the shadow of the original speaker.
I like that idea. So it's not just repeating words, but repeating them in a natural way.
Yes, that's very important. Shadowing is not only about words, it's about pronunciation, rhythm, and the natural flow of English.
That makes a lot of sense. It sounds like a very active way to learn English, not just passive listening.
Exactly. You are listening and speaking at the same time, so your brain, ears, and mouth are all working together. Before we go deeper into shadowing, there's just one quick reminder for our listeners.
Yes, if you're enjoying this episode and finding it helpful, please remember to subscribe to Mr. Daily Speak English.
Subscribing really helps us reach more English learners like you.
And if this episode is useful for you, feel free to give it a like or a thumbs up.
You can also leave a comment below if you have questions or if you want to share your experience with shadowing.
We always enjoy reading your comments and hearing from you.
All right, now let's get back to shadowing. Emily, why is this technique so effective for English learners?
That's a great question. Shadowing works on several different levels.
Let's start with the first benefit.
First of all, shadowing really helps with pronunciation. When you try to match the speaker's sounds, you become more aware of how English words are actually pronounced.
That's very true. Sometimes English words look very different from how they sound.
Exactly. Shadowing helps you stop focusing only on spelling and start focusing on real sounds.
So instead of reading English, you're hearing and producing real spoken English.
Yes, and that makes a big difference. The second benefit is better listening skills.
Because you have to listen very carefully, right?
Exactly. To shadow correctly, you must pay close attention to the audio. This trains your ears to understand spoken English faster.
So it's like training your ears and your mouth at the same time.
That's a perfect way to say it. Shadowing is a workout for both listening and speaking.
And what about rhythm and intonation?
That's the third big benefit. English has a natural rhythm and melody.
Native speakers don't speak in a flat way.
Exactly. They use stress, intonation, and changes in pitch. Shadowing helps you feel these patterns naturally.
That's something textbooks can't really teach.
Yes, shadowing helps you learn what English sounds like, not just what it looks like on the page.
And there's one more important benefit, right?
Yes, fluency. By speaking along with a native or clear speaker, you become more comfortable forming sentences smoothly.
So over time, your speech becomes faster and more natural.
Exactly. That's why shadowing is such a powerful technique.
So now that we understand why shadowing is so effective, let's talk about how our listeners can actually start using this technique.
Yes, shadowing is very simple, but it's important to do it step by step.
All right, let's begin with step one. What is the first thing English learners should do?
Step 1 is to find good audio material to shadow. It's best to choose something that matches your level.
So beginners should not start with very difficult English.
Exactly. If the audio is too hard, it can feel frustrating. You want something clear and not too fast.
What kind of audio would you recommend for beginners?
Short podcasts for English learners are a great choice. The speakers usually talk clearly and a little more slowly.
That makes it easier to follow along.
Yes, you can also use short clips from TV shows or movies as long as the pronunciation is clear.
What about audiobooks?
Audiobooks can work very well too, especially if you have the transcript.
Having the written text sounds very helpful.
It really is, especially when you are just starting. The transcript helps you connect the sounds with the words.
All right, so step one is finding the right audio and having a transcript if possible.
Yes. Now let's move on to step 2.
What happens in step two?
Step 2 is listening first. Before you start shadowing, just listen to the audio.
So you don't repeat yet.
Exactly. You listen to understand the general idea and get familiar with the content.
That helps reduce stress when you start speaking.
Yes, it prepares your brain. Now comes step 3.
This is where shadowing really begins, right?
Yes. In step 3, you play the audio again and start repeating what you hear at the same time.
Sentence by sentence?
Yes, start with very short parts. One sentence or even part of a sentence is fine.
And it doesn't need to be perfect.
Not at all. The goal is to match the rhythm and sounds as best as you can.
So mistakes are okay.
Absolutely. Mistakes are part of learning.
Now let's continue with the next steps of shadowing.
Yes. After you start shadowing short sentences, the next step is repetition.
Why is repetition so important?
Because each time you repeat the same audio, you notice new details.
Details like pronunciation and intonation.
Exactly. With repetition, your brain starts to recognize patterns naturally.
So learners should shadow the same short part more than once.
Yes, that's step 4. Repeat the same section several times.
And after that, what's the next step?
Step 5 is to slowly increase the length. When you feel comfortable with short sentences, you can move on to longer phrases.
So you don't rush.
Exactly. You move at your own pace.
That sounds less stressful.
It really is. And now, let's talk about step 6.
This is the step that many learners find a bit scary.
Yes, step 6 is recording yourself. You record your voice while shadowing and then listen to it.
That can feel uncomfortable at first.
It can, but it's very helpful. When you listen to your recording, you can hear where you need to improve.
And you don't need to share it with anyone.
Exactly. It's just for you.
So recording is a tool, not a test.
That's right. It helps you become more aware of your pronunciation.
And what's the final step?
Step 7 is being patient and consistent. Shadowing takes time and regular practice.
You won't sound perfect right away.
No, but with practice, you will hear real improvement.
Now that we've talked about the steps, let's share some tips to help our listeners get the best results from shadowing.
Yes, good tips can make shadowing much more effective.
Emily, what's your first tip?
My first tip is to really focus on the sounds. Pay attention to how the speaker pronounces words.
Even small sounds can make a big difference.
Exactly. Try to copy not only the words, but also the way the speaker sounds.
So it's not just listening with your ears, but also feeling how the words are spoken.
Yes, it's very physical. Your mouth and tongue are learning new movements.
That's a great point. What's another tip?
Another tip is not to worry too much about understanding every single word at first.
That's important. Many learners stop because they don't understand one word.
Exactly. When you're shadowing, focus on a rhythm and sound first. You can always check the meaning later.
That helps keep the flow.
Yes, and my third tip is to try different types of audio.
Like podcasts, interviews, or short videos?
Exactly. Different audio helps you hear different accents and speaking styles.
That also keeps practice interesting.
It really does. And my final tip is to make shadowing a habit.
Short and regular practice is better than long and rare practice.
Yes, even 10 or 15 minutes a few times a week can help a lot.
Now, let's talk about some common mistakes learners make.
One common mistake is choosing audio that is too difficult.
That can be very discouraging.
Exactly. It's better to start easy and feel successful.
What's another mistake?
Another mistake is focusing only on words and ignoring rhythm and intonation.
English is not flat. It has music and movement.
That's right. Shadowing helps you learn that natural melody.
And one more mistake?
Some learners give up too quickly. They expect fast results.
But improvement takes time.
Yes, patience is very important.
Now, let's give our listeners a short example of shadowing.
Good idea. I'll say a short sentence and you can repeat it.
All right, I'm ready.
Here is the sentence. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
That was great. You matched the rhythm and pronunciation very well.
Thank you. It really helps you feel more connected to the language.
Exactly. That's the power of shadowing.
Now let's talk about shadowing for different levels of English learners.
Yes, shadowing can be used by beginners, intermediate learners, and even advanced learners.
Let's start with beginners. What kind of shadowing should beginners do?
Beginners should choose very clear and slow audio. Podcasts made for English learners are perfect for this.
Short sentences and simple vocabulary are best at the beginning.
Exactly. Beginners should focus on basic pronunciation and confidence.
What about intermediate learners?
Intermediate learners can try slightly more challenging audio, like short news clips or interviews.
They can also try shadowing parts of TV shows or movies.
Yes, as long as the dialogue is clear. At this level, learners should focus more on natural rhythm and fluency.
And for advanced learners?
Advanced learners can challenge themselves with faster and more complex audio, things like lectures, debates, or fast conversations.
That really pushes listening and speaking skills.
It does. Advanced learners should focus more on details like stress, intonation, and natural expressions.
So shadowing grows with you as your English improves.
Exactly. It's a technique you can use at every level.
Before we finish, let's share one key takeaway.
The most important thing to remember is that shadowing is active learning.
You're not just listening. You're speaking, copying, and training your brain at the same time.
It takes practice and patience, but the results are worth it.
Don't worry about sounding perfect.
Focus on progress, not perfection.
We really encourage you to try shadowing in your own English study routine.
Start small, stay consistent, and enjoy the process.
Thank you so much for listening today.
And thank you for learning English with us.
Keep practicing, keep improving, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone, and happy shadowing.